So, how's it going? Just a little bit of a tad bit of information when it comes to this. So, I kind of fucked it up when I was supposed to be streaming. The thing here is that I supposedly thought that I was talking about the information that I was, well, supposed to go about the rest of the stream. I was going to talk about the ideas that I had for the gods and what inspired me to stream this day and this or whatnot. But yeah, I kind of forgot to unmute myself. So if you want to go ahead and jump all the way to what's that be? Let me just check real quick. It'll be minute 6 with 54, or unless you just want to see me write things that I'm going to explain later on. But well, if you want to, that's on you. I'm not gonna stop you if you want just to see me fail at fucking English by writing things that I'm just gonna change either way later on. So if you want the full explanation of what I'm doing right now, it's well, you'll get it later on, so I'm not gonna do it right now. So see you in about 4 minutes then. Hope you have a good time. Fuck, I think I've just noticed that I've been muted for 24 minutes. Well, that was, fuck. I forgot to unmute myself. I've been doing this for 25 fucking minutes. I've just been talking and rambling to myself without anybody hearing. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, now I feel stupid for that. Wow. Fuck. That was, yeah. Wow. That's, oof. That hurts a little bit. Fuck. Let me just, since I just noticed that I'm muted, let me just check one thing and I'll be right back. Well, yeah, Auton, yeah, I kind of fucked that up a little bit. And a little bit means a shit ton. I've been rambling for about almost 30 minutes to myself about this shit. Well, I feel stupid on that. I just muted myself since I was doing a little something, and I was making a lot of noise before the stream started, and I just didn't want to break people's ears. But now I feel stupid about this. Wow. So, sorry about that. If you want to make a suggestion, go ahead. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of an overview of this. Fuck, I feel stupid as... Oh, fuck. Sorry about all the cussing, but I just feel stupid. I've been talking to myself for, yeah, 27 minutes, basically. Fuck. Hey, we've been watching. I should have said something, man. I've been talking to myself for all this time. Hey, like, I basically do this basically just for myself. I just do it on stream because I feel I may just get some suggestion from people, and I'm sure I would implement them, but fuck. Okay, so let's go from the very beginning of the stream, since I've been talking about a lot of random shit. So, for everybody who's combining, well, sorry, I'm having problems talking right now because of whatever I just fucking did right now. Let me get a second just to breathe in and breathe out. Fuck. That was so fucking stupid, but sure. I should have checked, actually. I have the OBS right next to me, I just didn't check. Okay. So, let me go with my intro once again. Hey! Generally, hey, how's it going? So, let me start once again. Sure, go ahead. I'll answer the question, then I'll start going about with everything that I was doing previously. Go ahead. Let's see. Shago, Harley, and Loba. Let's see. Is that Harley Quinn, the Loba from Apex, and who's Shago? Sorry. Is that the one from Kim Possible? Just making sure, since there's a couple of Harleys and a couple of Lobas. Okay, Shago from Kim Possible. Let's see. Probably... Okay, so it's kill Harley, because she can beat the shit out of me. I'd probably marry Loba for monetary value, because she could pretty much just steal whatever the fuck she wants. And I'll fuck Shago, because reasons that I'm not gonna specify. Okay, so now let me go ahead and actually talk about what I was doing for fucking half an hour. Okay, so I was thinking about doing a stream talking about the way that I want to implement my gods into my D&D campaign. I basically have no intention of taking the gods from basic D&D 5e from Faerun and the Forgotten Realms. I wanted to create my own just for the sake of it, because I want to make my world a little bit more unique. And so I had a couple of ideas that I wanted to not exactly patrons. There are more. I do have the intention of having other cosmic entities and patrons, but as of now, I'm just working on the gods for the domains that are going to be available within my world. So let me start from the very beginning. So I've been feeling like shit the past couple of days, which is why I didn't stream as regularly as I was supposed to. Are they like NPCs that they can encounter? Yes, you will be able to encounter them, but you are literally talking about almost immortal beings. Some of them all powerful, controlling elements, controlling concepts and such. So if you are able to find them, well, good luck on you. Let's see, I've done the first attack. If you visited the god of life and killed him in his sleep, I'm not fucking kidding. Hey, good on you. Oh, that's a story to tell. But yeah, I do want the gods of my world to be present to a certain degree. I don't want them. I don't have the intention of having them be recurring NPCs, but I do want them to exert some presence within the world. That is well, my hope for the gods that I'm making. Okay, so as I was saying, I've been feeling like shit. My stomach has been literally killing me. I've been having a shit ton of headaches. And well, I did say that I was gonna be streaming when I felt like shit, which is basically always a self-deprecation joke. And well, it was a little bit too much for me to handle, so I wasn't able to stream for the past couple of days. So I just didn't stream as a whole, but I did work on something that I'm not planning on show as a whole. It is my creation story, basically the creation mythos of my world. And I do have the intention of maybe streaming my campaigns if I do get players and such. So that is the kind of thing that I am not going to talk about for the most part. I will mention it every now and again, maybe throw a couple of hints, but I do not have the intention of showing my creation mythos as a whole, since I worked really hard on it and it might be kind of cringy and whatever, but I just liked it. It was a story that I've been wanting to tell for quite a while, and I just wrote it on a Word document kind of like this, and I've been working. I still haven't finished it. I do have a couple of things to iron out. There are some details and some other things that I have to add, but for the most part, it is finished. So that is why I gave myself the leeway to start working on the gods of my world. So, why did I decide to stream today if I was still feeling like shit? Well, I went to the movies today, and I watched the new movie that came out for the Puss in Boots. And it was fucking amazing. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's really cool. The best was like maybe an hour and a half of my life. Currently, that's big. That's a highlight of my year, and it's just it has barely started, but it is a highlight, and it's gonna be a highlight for my year. That fucking movie's amazing. And well, if anybody hasn't seen it, I'm going to be giving a couple of spoilers for it. So sorry about that. I'm usually not the kind of person who gives spoilers. I do not like them myself. I had fought with people before when they wanted to spoil things for me. I'm just not the kind of person. I actually am the kind of person who doesn't even look at trailers. I had a guy put the Infinity War trailer in front of my face and I just fucking run. I run for my life. I didn't want to see it. I like to go into movies and such with nothing in the back of my mind, just watching them without having seen the trailer, haven't seen news about it, nothing. So basically, I went into this movie without knowing anything about it. I didn't even know there was a sequel. Apparently, it was a sequel. I didn't know that. So, there was one character that I specifically adored within the movie. It was a wolf character. He was, well, when they showed him first, I thought he might have been something akin to a mercenary looking to, well, bring down our main character or something like that. But as the movie progressed, it turned out that he was the literal personification of death that was hunting him because he was on his last life. That is basically the plot of the movie, so sorry for spoiling it. But I absolutely adored the way he was portrayed. in the sense that he was not just a merciless god of war. Oh, the dog was fucking. That dog was fucking amazing. I loved him. It's a really good contrast to the, well, basically to both of the cat characters that we had. Oh, the backstory. I went a couple of friends, and when he was telling the backstory, we just looked at each other, dumbfounded. Like, we had no idea how. Like, he just said it with a smile on his face. We're just like, what the fuck is going on? We just looked at each other, dumbfounded. But yeah, those kind of details make that movie amazing. So, what I was saying, oh yeah, so the god, so he was looking to get rid of the Puss in Boots. And so the movie goes on, and he learns the value of life as a whole. And so he fights with the god of death, quote unquote, the personification of death within the movie. And he ends up succeeding, and well, he knows that death will come for him later on, but he is okay with it, with his own mortality. And so I thought to myself, okay, I do not want to take the concept as a whole for this God of Death, but I did like a couple of things that I wanted to use for my D&D world, and I got a little bit of inspiration for my own God of Death. And so now let's talk about that. So basically, to give a little bit of context for the way that I want to create my gods. I know there's a cookie cutter way to just make him. Okay, so he is the god of war. So he likes fighting, he likes blood, he yada yada yada. And this and that. But I do want to change that up a little bit, since I find that boring. And I just don't want to make my hard-earned work to be boring to some people. So I want to give it, to say it on a, since I don't have better words to say, to give it a little bit of a twist. To make them more interesting, to make them more rounded characters, not just have a basic, well, not, how should I say this? I just don't want my gods to be basic bitches that can only do one thing, that are only about one simple thing. That's basically it. So when it comes, I did give the example over here of the god of my god of war. So of course, his basic domain will be war, but as we all know, war cannot be won through pure force. For people to succeed within war, there should be tactics. And so I wanted to give this this detail to the god of war. Let's say in this case, he is not just a pure muscle man who just goes out of his way to fight and bring blood to other people. He is a tactician as well. He knows that for there to be war, there should be conflict, but in that kind of conflict, you also have to bring tactics for it. For numbers will not always win you the battle. You do need to think about it a little. Let's see, I've done a similar god, but instead of a god of war, he's an evil monk with a twisted sense of justice, and like people to again, like children. So apparently he's that's a good way to put it. But yeah, in my case, I do not want to make my gods just cookie cutter characters in that sense. I do want to give them a little bit more flair. I do want to give them a little bit more of a personality, make them more rounded, as I was saying previously. So I also, of course, there's gonna be more domains for the gods, since I do not want for there to be too many of them. But I do have some quote unquote umbrella terms that I do want to clear for the domains, but as of now, I do not have the idea for all of the gods. And I forgot something. The previous stream, I did tell myself that I have the habit of speaking a little bit fast when I am nervous, so I'll try to tone it down a little bit. Sorry for that, if I was speaking a little bit too fast. Let's see, Calderon Blazer, he who sits on stone, the first father, Earthbender, and Lord of Stone and Ore, the god of dwarfs. Domain, ideas, knowledge, and either tempest war. The holy symbol would be most likely a hammer and a pickaxe in front of it. Oh, actually, I forgot about the holy symbols. I also have to think about that. I forgot about holy symbols. Calderon Blight Silver. I actually like the name, that's pretty cool. He who sits on stone, the Forge Father, Earthbender, and Lord of Stone and Ore. That sounds like a real motherfucker. Okay, so, as I was saying, okay, so when it comes to the God of Death that I was thinking, is I'm taking a little bit of a liability here, that it is based on the God of Death from the movie. So of course, I do want his domain to be death, but I do want to add a little something extra, which is why I have the 3 question marks here. I do not know exactly what I want to do with that. It is something akin to a, how should I say this? Something akin to a peace, not exactly a peaceful death, but something more akin to, how should I say this? I don't know. The realization of growth, something along those lines. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But I do want something along those lines. And of course, I want his aspect within the world to be a wolf. And just as in the movie, I do want to give a little bit more of a flair to in case, Genie, if you're seeing the, well, let me just read that. My character once killed the spirit of the Forge, which is like the machine spirit in Warhammer 40k, and became the god of the Forge and machinery, not a literal god, since she needs 100 followers. Oh, actually, oh yeah, I do need to think about followers and all that as well. Well, fuck, writing gods is complicated. Like a figurative god as well. It's nice. My character once killed the spirit of the Forge. So basically just replacing the god after killing it, and now you have to get the followers to actually become a god. That's a good concept. I don't know if I might implement that to a low level campaign, but maybe later on. I do have the intention of making some high level campaigns for that. So that's I might just make somebody god. That's a good idea. Okay, as I was saying, okay, yeah. So when it comes to the aspect, I wanted to make it a wolf, which is just an animal that I find to be really cool. That's just me. That's just me from let's say a couple of years ago being edgy. I just liked wolves because they're edgy animals and they're cool. And I'm not going to change that idea. So, but the thing about the movie was that there was a certain howl, well, in this case, a whistle, that the God of Death would do. And I just found that to be, I don't know, I just found that it would lend itself really well to an encounter of some sort. So here was my idea of what I was thinking. This is in my case. I was actually watching a fucking movie in the back of my mind. I was thinking of how would I implement this to my D&D world, which is not the best way to see a movie, but either way, I still did it. Let's see. Which I always found funny because her first invention was an arm that is a personal tool. Okay, I kind of get it. So it's. I think I know where you're going with that, but I'm not gonna say that out loud. But I do know where you're going with that kind of arm. A personal tool. Okay, so as I was saying, so I had this scenario play within my mind, and I do this quite a lot. I do bring scenarios into my mind to see how I would use these kinds of things within my world. So let's say that you were fighting an entity that was way above your pay weight. You were not supposed to fight it, but either way, you are. And in this case, let's say you have a paladin who, let's say, 2 failed. That says he literally on death's door. And we make it all cinematic. Let's say that he is down, and out of nowhere, he just hears a howl that starts to become something akin to a whistle that blows on the wind. And for those who know, they would know that that is literally the aspect of death that is coming to pick him up. Let's see, the God of Life and Death. No name ideas, but the title I had in mind is The Resurrected, the Rebirthed, the Phoenix King, and Reaper and Keeper of Souls, a god or goddess who gives his lives and takes lives, the one who fiery souls and grants souls. Boros, however you spell it, then make his name Boris. God of Life and Death. No name ideas, but a title I had in mind is The Resurrected. The Rebirthed, the Phoenix King, Reaper and Keeper of Souls, a god or goddess who gives life and takes life. Huh. The Fairy of Souls. Actually, I do need to think of where exactly what I'm going to do with the souls within my world. Since, from what I can remember, I do not know all the lore when it comes to base D&D, so from what I can remember, they should go to the Astral Sea, or to the domains of their specific gods. I think I'm right on that. I'm not exactly sure, so I'm not gonna say 100% that is that. I think those titles seem like too edgy. Let's see, I got a calming Hades vibe from them, so like try something like the gardener or the harvester. Actually, the god seems more like a nature god, kind of like a god of renewal, like the circle of life. But also gonna make a sickle and a rake, yeah. Let's see, So when it comes to the god of death, exactly what can I do for that? Let's see, I do like where it is going, but let's see, let me think about it for a little bit. And sorry if I just don't talk and I'm thinking. I usually try to just get a little bit of an open mind when I'm thinking about a couple of things, so I'll just maybe not say anything for a while. But it won't take much, don't worry. Let's see. Okay, I think this might be helpful in the case of what I am planning to do with the God of Death. So let's keep talking about this later on. But with the God of Balance, this is something really important to my world. So within the gods that I'm planning to add, balance specifically is something that should be a little bit, well, I won't say a little bit, but should be quite stronger than some of the other gods, since balance is a force in the case of my world that reigns, let's say, quote unquote, supreme over the others. Let's see, how exactly should I explain this? So the way I thought about balance within my world was, for there to be good, of course, there is evil. For there to be health, there should be sickness, this kind of thing. But that is also the Tipicaru way of being like, hey, there's good, there's evil, and that kind of thing. So there is, of course, there's supposed to be an in-between. And when it comes to the God of Death, of course, he was brought forth for there to be a need for life to end, quote unquote. For there, and the way I like to describe it, let's say, for there to be worth, well, let me rephrase it. For life, wait, no, let me think about how I should phrase it properly. Okay, so the worth of life can only be weighed under the concept of death being there. I think that's the best way that I can explain it without going too into the details of the world. But let's say that death was brought forth to bring balance to life. It might be the best way for me to put it. Okay, let's see. Ouroboros would be in... Actually, I do like the idea of a sickle. From what I think it is Ouroboros, yeah, with an L. It should be Ouroboros. Isn't that the snake that eats itself, right? The one that goes around the world, something like that. I think that's Greek. Yeah, that's Greek mythology, I think, but I'm not really well versed on it. Or was it another one? No, I think it is Ouroboros, a snake that eats itself and wraps itself around the earth. Okay, so let's see. Every coin has two sides, it's sort of thing. One side is life, and how things which checks up. Yep. Basically something along those lines, Auton. But of course, for it's not exactly something that can be represented within a coin. Well, in the case of life and death, yes, but for balance as a whole, not really. In the case, it should be something akin to a balance within the concepts, but for there to always be a middle ground available to whoever. And I just say whoever since I didn't think of a specific thing, but basically that. Okay, let me start adding this, since I think the idea of a sickle for the holy symbol might be a good idea, but I'll have to look into it. So, holy symbol should be a sickle. For now, let's go with that. Let's see how the fuck do you write sickle? Okay, there we go. The holy symbol should be a sickle. Okay, and let's think about it. Let's see. So basically, for the other domains, exactly something akin to the resurrected or the rebirthed might not be the best idea, since I do have the intention of separating life and death, or basically those who reign over life and death. I do have the intention of separating them, so maybe something not akin to that. Let's see. Okay, let's see. The god of rain, amongst and Jackals, a mother, the god of the hobbits, mother of life, just over his holy symbols, woman, kneeling, pouring water. Actually, the god of rain. Let me add that as well. That's a good idea. The god of rain. God of Rain. Let's see, titles. The Mother, God of Harvest, huh? Let's see. Is there a specific season that is more quote how should I say this, quote unquote, more rainy? Since it might be a good idea to maybe represent the seasons and harvest in a way within the world. I think I do like the idea of the God of Rain. Might be, I don't know, it might be a little bit too specific, which is why I want to maybe branch it out. I do like the idea of the title that it has, but let's see. Okay, yeah, let's go back. I'll leave that as a asterisk for now. The actual God of Life, name unidentified, title unidentified, hold symbol animal. Huh. That's good. Actually, I added the God of Death, not the God of Life. Let me add that as well. The God of Life. Of Life. There we go. Let me just make a space here. And an apple. That might be a little bit too on the nose, maybe, but I'll think about the apple. Yeah, he created everything, huh? Let's see. Huh. I can tell you one thing. About the God of Life. How should I say this? It is the God that reigns over life, but for lore-specific reasons and details that I cannot say as a whole. To say that he created everything might not be the best way to put it. Let's say that he is more akin to a warden more than the God of Life itself. But that is lore, creation mythos, the kind of thing. So, yep, I'm not saying that for now. But still, I do like the concept of it. Let's see, I'm just reading the messages, looking once again at what you all say, because I do like a lot of ideas, but I'm trying to think of a way to, let's say, quote unquote, like fuse them within some idea that I have in the back of my mind. Let's see. Okay, sure. I'll skip that for now. Now let's go into the God of Animals, which is where I noticed that I wasn't even talking. So we're almost at this point. It took me almost half an hour to get to where I was previously, but sure, let's go with that. Okay, so the God of Animals. So in the case of the God of Animals, I don't want it to conflict quite a lot. I do not have, as of now, the idea of having a separate domain for it. In the case of the God of Animals, I want for it to be maybe the twist of the god might be more within its lore than its domains, something like that. So, as I wrote here, it has the ability to transform into every animal in existence. And I wrote playful, but this is where I'm gonna have to explain a little bit. So the image and the courses of action that I had in my mind. Imagine this: there is a party, and you are in a space between a rainforest and a rocky mountain. They have a mission to do or whatever, and yeah. So they are going through Rocky Mountain, and a ranger being a ranger, he has pretty good eyes, so he's able to discern within distance an eagle. And just for the fun of it, or because he wanted to, he tries and aims a shot at it. And so, with that, he shoots. Let's say it should be accurate to how he discerned it, but at the moment that the arrow should strike, it disappears, and it just vanishes without a trace. He just saw that it missed, and he thought to himself, well, I should have just missed. And he goes on with whatever he's doing. Later on, after they've traveled more, let's say that he once again sees a wolf within the mountain range. And he just sees it from far away. The wolf stares into him for a second. And he just runs off. And he is able to see the wolf just sprinting out of its mind. It's just going with everything that it has. It jumps off a cliff for whatever reason. And out of nowhere, the wolf transforms into that same eagle, which once again sees the ranger before passing by. And so that is the kind of thing that I was thinking about when it comes to the God of Animals, making a god that is a little bit more present within the world. Of course, it's just a reference. I do not want to be this on the nose about it, but I do want them to be, and in the case for him, I did want to make him a little bit more mischievous, a little bit more playful, something that will be more present within the world, since he literally can become any animal that he so chooses to be. And so that's why I just wrote playful, since I just didn't want to write mischievous, since I do not know how to spell that. I just forgot how to spell it for some reason. Okay, actually, let's see. Oh, I got about Victoria. The thing here is, Victoria is a name that when I was, this was like a couple of months ago when I started working on this, I did choose the name Victoria. I was working on my creation methods, and out of nowhere, the name Victoria popped into my head. And I do have the intention of having a god named Victoria, but in my case, it was something more akin to a god of, let's say, luck. Not exactly war as a whole. Since I think the name Victoria might be a little bit on the nose when making it a god of war, seeing as Victoria is just victory in Spanish, so I do want to think a little bit more on that. But let's see, other than that, the god of war titles, Mother of Siege, Mother of the War, Mother Glory. The whole symbol, a shield with 2 halberds and an olive leaf ring. Oh yeah, she's the god of war and peace. I think that vultures work better as death. Let's see, well, vultures might be more representative of death, but in my case, or the way I think about it, vultures are not exactly the representation, well, the best way to represent death in the case, as they are more akin to what comes after death. So basically the vultures just come after you have died. So having a vulture come for you when it comes to death might not be the best idea in my opinion. I do like the idea of vultures coming like maybe after, but that might be something akin to another god, maybe something, I don't know, maybe something that reigns over what happens after death. Maybe having something akin to the river Styx, and maybe whoever manages that, the one that leads the souls to where they're supposed to, might be a vulture. I should like that. Okay, let's see. Autumn, Kel, known by many names: the Stranger, the Dark Prince, the Reaper of Souls, the Gatekeeper. Now it's both feared and respected. Now is neither good or evil, for he is the beginning of your end. Ooh, I like the description. It took over the previous god of death, whom was often portraying as dark figure with the head of a wolf. Neil, however, appears to those as a loved one, handheld out and granting a warm embrace into the next life. Oof, actually, I fucking love that description. I love this. Let's see, I'm just gonna do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I am not copy pasting. I can assure you, I am not copying and pasting it. Oh fuck that! What the fuck? Why did it copy like that? I like this. I'll have to think a little bit of the names, since I do want the names. Oh, here's another thing about my world. As some of you know, within D&D, there are power words and such, and within those, I do have the intention of giving gods in my world both a true name and a name as they are called by maybe their followers or something like that, as to give them a little bit more of a flair, something like that. As if you are literally speaking the name of the god, it comes with great power, something like that. I just like the idea of that. Okay, wait, let me just do this. So let's just make it that I didn't just outright steal it. Let's give Autumn some credit for that. There we go. I will use this. If you don't mind, Autumn, just give me permission. I actually really like this. I would do something like this. I do have the intention of doing something like this. Okay, let's see. Got a block. Lament titles. Miss Fortune, Lady of Conquest, Mother Lucky Holy, Symbolic Coin, and Olive Leaf. Actually, I like the name The Stranger Things and Gatekeeper. I feel like the other two names I choose are a tad too evil sounding. Might just be. But I'll think about it. But I really do have to think on the names, which is why I basically just wanted to get the groundwork for the gods. I wasn't really thinking if I had a name that I really wanted. In the case of the god of Goddess of Luck, Victoria. That is the name that I had with me for a while, and I do want to use it, but when it comes to names as a whole, I do have to think about that a lot. Since as I like to describe myself, I am what I would acquaint with an uncultured swine. There are a lot of things in this world that I do not know. There are many cultures that are within the far and wide that I do have the intention of getting into, for me to be able to use some of that as inspiration for the world, since I do not intend for my world to be just a plain old fantasy world. I do want to make it more expansive. I do want to make it encompassing of the world that we live in as a whole. Of course, just on inspiration, there are a bunch of things that I do plan on taking, and some that I don't, since I know there is a fine line within the things that you should be able to portray. Because, of course, there are always cultures and such. But, oh, thanks for... I'm sharing. Love to get. Okay, then I'll use this. I love this as all. There's a bunch of things that I could do with that. I actually really love that. Okay, so where was I again? I kind of forgot. Acceptance. That is the word. That is the word that I was looking for. Acceptance. There you go, genie. That's the genie right there. That's it. Acceptance. That is the word that I was looking for. Let me just write that, since that is what I was looking for. Acceptance. Okay, that's a lot actually. Sorry about that. For those of you who sorry, my throat. For those of you who are new, actually do suffer from chronic hiccups. It's been going for more than almost 2 years now. So if every now and again I just go on a hiccup rant and just can't even control myself, sorry about that. It does sound kind of funny, so you can laugh at it if you want. Let's see what else. Okay. Let's see. Let me keep reading that. Okay. A holy symbol, a lady embracing a child. She's like the most like God. Let's see. So acceptance might be the best way. Okay, so acceptance. Souls. Yeah. I need to think exactly where the souls are supposed to go, because I might need to have somebody drive the boat on river Styx. Well, of course not river Styx as a whole, or maybe. Is it possible to just add river Styx? Like, can I do that? Since I do know that it is within the 5e, but can I just use it? So I do like the symbology of the river Styx and everything that comes with it, so I might just take it. Let's see, she's dedicated as like a calming presence who acts like a mother and rides you on the river of Styx till you are ready. She's a good woman. I like that. I'm having the conflicting ideas of having a motherly figure taking you to, well, where your soul will reside after crossing the river Styx, or having something more akin to a quote-unquote vulture man. I like that idea, having a literal, like something akin to a vulture creature taking you to where your soul will reside, since it is, well, it is a creature that is known for being there after you die. So I like that, but I'll think of that. Let's see. Okay, so for the god, all of these gods that I wrote, the god of humans, the god of elves, the god of dwarves, the god of halflings, the god of gnomes. I'll talk about the dragons a little bit. For these, I do not know if I want to have a god specific for them, or do I want one of the other gods to represent them, which is why I'm not gonna write nothing for them as of now. That's something I'm thinking on. I do not know. Well, okay, and the only exception for that is the dragons, and why I don't have dragonborns and all of those others. So, the thing about what I do plan on doing with my world. Okay, so we are playing Dungeons and Dragons. Well, if the OGL doesn't fuck everybody over and we have to start switching to other role-playing games, which fuck. Come on, Blizzard of the Coast, get your shit together. But hey, at the end of the day, so let's see what happens with that. But as of now, I do have the intention of running this on D&D. Of course, a really modified homebrew version of D&D that I am going to be working on. Of course, since I do have the intention of modifying a lot of things, I do plan on adding some backgrounds specific to the world. I do plan on adding new classes, new this and that, or whatever. But the thing about that is, if we are playing, well, Dungeons and Dragons, then the name, you have dragons. And for the most part, what I've seen what people do with dragons isn't really all that exciting. Of course, if you're playing a game, for the most part, you don't even see dragons. When you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, they're pretty high level, and most people start as low level parties. And when, well, Dungeons and Dragons reached the popularity that it has as of now, it's kind of on a decline, but during COVID and all of that, since people started playing online, it really rose a lot in popularity. Also, things like Stranger Things, Critical Role, and all that. And such things, well, with all of that. So, if you're playing a game called Dungeons and Dragons, you have to make dragons important, right? Which is what I do have all the intention of doing. I do not know exactly how I'm going to implement dragons onto my world, but I do know that I do want to make them a vital part of the world. I do not just want them to be cave dwellers that just stash gold and do jack shit other than, I don't know, sleep. Maybe kill a village or two or something like that, but I do have the intention of making them something worthy of their title. Something like that. I think that's the best way to put it. And so for the as of now, of course, from the races, both kobolds and the dragonborn do descend from dragons, so I also have to think a way to add that within the lore and a bunch of other things. But as of now, that's what it is. Okay, so let me go back to reading since there's a couple of messages that I haven't seen. Okay, so the traditional killer, that death is depicted as not be okay. So that would be her brother, huh? Command god of death and hunt titles. Him, holy symbol, a gallow. He acts like him in the world's a. What is oh, is that a noose? Like the whatchamacallit? The way you like the tightrope, a noose? Or that's something else? That's just me not knowing English. Okay, let's see. So what else can I add? As of now, I don't have any idea. Well, there's things like the god of harvest and such, but that might be a little bit too on the nose as well for now. And I'm just thinking about a couple of ideas. Okay, so basically, let's see. What other kind of god can I add? I've kind of run out of ideas and it's pretty late, so I'm not really thinking. Also, yeah, I'm still feeling I should. So yeah, there's that. Oh, there we go, news. Okay, so let's see. What other kind of... Yeah, don't worry about it. I also have a bunch of... Wow, I can't even talk now as well. Sorry. So, yeah, I also have a bunch of problems with it, but I don't know. English is just hard, man. Every now and again, just words don't make sense with how you're supposed to spell them, but man, that's the English dictionary as a whole. Well, the English language as a whole, so yeah. Okay, let's see. Any other god that might come to mind? Oh, actually, I did have an idea for another god. And there was the god of dreams. Let me go that. God of dreams. Let me also make space here. God of dreams. Of dreams. Dreams? God of dreams? Yep. Wait. Let me just look at the formatting here since I don't want to make things not look... Okay. So, the first domain. I wrote domain. Yeah, domain. Domain. Of course. Dreams. Dreams, but as well nightmares, just because. There we go. Okay, let's see. Illustrator, god of death, Valeria, the bitch, queen of the damned, and she who takes. Valeria is the reincarnation of the previous god of death. Q replaced, while Q wants his followers to perform funeral rites, help ease the suffering and ease the pain. For the mourning, Valeria is the goddess who continues murder in necromancy. Okay, the horseless act, huh? Actually, yeah, there's. Once again, considering the balance of things, there should be a dichotomy between having a god of death who, well, basically brings the cold embrace to you, but making it warm in that sense, and maybe having one who goes more akin to, how should it be? to just taking you because, well, they can. Let's see, we have a god of life. Titles: He who breathes life, holy symbol, trees. He acts like Zeus, and his name is literally an anagram of Zeus. Oh, I just saw that right now. Setsu. Actually, that name is pretty cool. That's a pretty good name. Oh, I got it. God of nature as well. God of nature. Since that is also, yep, nature. There we go. God of nature. And of course, the thing that I'm doing is that most of the gods that I write here, as of now, I do have the intention of adding them into the world. But if I ever find one or two gods to be too similar, too redundant, I'll just cut them off. Since I don't want it to be, I don't want, well, let's say overwhelm people, but just a bunch of gods who do the same thing. If there are differences with like what we talked about previously, maybe having one give you a warm embrace towards death and one that just hunts you down because they can. Something like that might be good. Of course, good old Zeus. How many? Let's see. How many fucking children did he have? It wasn't around. Oh, no, I can't even. I was just thinking about the ones who were gods, but it should be more than that. Yeah, Hades' goat. Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm just thinking about it. Yeah, I'm not gonna add a Zeus to my world. I do want my gods to be immersed within the world and for them to well, I don't know, just go around it. But I do not want something akin to Zeus as of now. Okay, what was I doing? I was doing something. I just forgot about it. I just had a. There you go. The god of nature. Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about my idea for the god of dreams and nightmares. Oh yeah, I do remember as well. So let me add this. Let me just. This should be on a. Actually, let me just do it on. I need to format this better, but I'll just do it. Two gods of death. Two gods of death. There we go. And I'll write the specifics later on, but for now I do have the intention. Well, let me. The cold embrace, the warm embrace, and the hunter. I'll just write the title. I'll just write those titles as of now, but yeah, sure. Oh, actually, let me just the cold embrace. I don't wanna. There we go. So one cold. Okay, there we go. So yeah, the two gods of death. One which brings you a cold embrace to the ends, and one who literally fucking hunts you down because they can. Let's see. Shaman is better than Hades at his job, like people. This is true. Let's also taking that for Hades. Shaman shakes like a therapist, like helping them mourn and forsake their foolish journey. So, yeah. It's alright, don't worry. It's late either way, so yeah, spelling isn't that good when it's that late at night as well. I'll just stretch a little bit. Sorry for the noises. Sorry if you hear a bunch of bones cracking. Just felt pretty crunchy today. Ow, that hurt. That last one hurt. Okay, so as I was saying previously, the god of dreams. My intention is to have a god that encompasses both dreams and nightmares. So that is a twist that I wanted to put upon it. I do not have an idea of what I want to do exactly with it, but I did know that I did want to make it a god of both dreams and nightmares. Could that be a little bit powerful? Yeah, sure. But either way, I just like the idea of having a god who reigns over both dreams and nightmares. And I don't have much to add to this, so let's just leave it at that for now. So the god of nature as well. Let's see. Seasons. That's for later on. There might just say some small deities that are about seasons. Have some mummy material, but not like mummy. Like she hot, but like she's also to control 30. At least you know that there's a level for that. Okay, let's see. Actually, there was another concept that I had, but I did not know exactly how to put it into words. It was something akin to a. I do not like the idea of having just a god of love. Because I don't know, that just sounds corny as shit. But I did have the intention of having something more along the lines of a god of affection. That including the parental affection, brotherly, romantic, and sexual to a certain extent, something like that. But I do not know exactly how I'm supposed to implement that either. I'll just write it. And I don't know, just having God of Affection sounds like a really shitty title. So I also wanted to work on that. I just want maybe a word that would represent affection as a whole. So like just not love, but affection. I just write it as sure, I'll just keep it as affection for now, but I don't have the intention of this being the title for it, since I do not know its gender either. Or well, it's God of affection, so it might just not have a gender as a whole. Maybe just make it look both male and female at the same time, just because I can. Let's see, what else can I add? Let's see, another concept for a god that might be. I don't know if it's too having like maybe god of magic. That's I don't know. No, let's not do that. I don't like that idea anymore. I just said it and then not anymore. For some, the god of seasons change. Two minor tap titles, holy symbol, and okay. Let's see. The god of having a god for the seasons as a whole. That might be a good idea instead of just having maybe. Sorry. Instead of having just one god for every season, maybe having a god who controls the season as a whole. But that might. Should I or should I not? I'll think. Fuck. I just drank some water and that started happening. Might have passed too much shit through. Sorry for that. Oof. Let's see. So let's see, anything else? Actually, I do need to have a certain god that controls, well, I don't want to say just like the water, since that might just be a little too much, but like the oceans, or should it be just be the water? Or should it just be like an elemental, like something from the elemental planes that has reign over the water on this world, something like that? That's kind of hard to decide on. Let's see, what exactly can I do for that? That's kind of... What could it be? I think I've just run out of ideas as of now. I'll just have to think about it little by little. Let's see. Oh, I just hit myself. Ow, that hurt. So, let's see. Another kind of gods that I can add to my world. So, a god of magic, I actually don't like the idea. Magic should be, yeah, sure. Let's not have a god of magic for now. I don't like the idea. For there to be somebody who has control over the magic, that should be, well, magical. That should be something that is literally left to those who made the world. Let's see, the god of destruction, cunning daughter of the the forsaken whole simplified. A god of destruction. That's actually I like that. I like that. So that should be yeah. God of destruction. That's good. God of destruction. Destruction. That is a really heavy title for a god. So that should be, for what it concerns me, a pretty powerful god. Probably not the most pleasant to be around as well. So a god of destruction, or maybe it should be a, or it could just be the idea of a minor god that just recently rose and is trying to make itself powerful by destroying things around. Well, not around this whole, but maybe like within the world. Maybe this could be something akin to like a, let's say you have a priest of the god of destruction, maybe as a mid campaign villain, something like that. A couple of things you could do with this. Let's see, holy symbol, fire. Let's see, should that be it? I think, yeah, when it comes to, I think the best representation for destruction as a whole is usually fire, so yeah. But I'll leave it without the whole symbol for now. I'll keep it in the back of my mind, so. Okay, so, let's see, the god of water, Nina, title, mother of the seas. The one who brings storms and mischievous. Okay, so make her the god of the waters, but being the title of mother of the seas. I like that actually. But sure, I'll add it for now. But I do have to think about if I'll just put it within parentheses, with the option of maybe just having it be water be controlled by an element, some sort of elemental being, maybe a little bit outside of the continents that might be within the world. Sure, I'll add it for now, and I'll add that little thing as well. God of water. The god of water. God for water. God of water. There we go. God of water. Yep. And let me add the parentheses. Also elemental. Elemental. What I have to decide exactly which route I'm going to take, because if I end up doing this, then I suppose all of the elemental planes that usually surround the world should also be under a god. Let's see, Convoy, goddess of springs, renewal, god of plenty, goddess of merriment, and the dancing green. Let's see, goddess who governs over life and nature. She celebrates often for almost any reason. She blesses new births, and also grants boons to faithful farmers and growers. Her holy symbol changes frequently, but the one that most people carry these days are two raised mugs and cheers. Let's see. The god of plenty, the goddess of merriment, and the dancing green. I actually really like the title of the dancing green. Life and nature. Actually, I didn't think about that. Maybe adding the seasons to a god that instead of having a god that represents the seasons, maybe giving one of the more powerful gods reign over the seasons, which is something that I really like here. Giving the goddess who, well, of course, governs over life, renewal of spring. I like that idea. So in that case, maybe, I don't know, having, well, what exactly could death be then? Shouldn't be winter. And I would have to look for something for fall and summer. I like the idea, but I have to think of a way how I could implement it. Let's see. Youngest of all the gods, she sometimes tags along with adventurers and sometimes fools around with them. She's very peppy, like standing, curious, bashful, childish. She has tentacle hair and has various tentacles. For each tentacle with her own personality. Oh, now that I think about it, I forgot to add octopus people to my list of races. I have to, let me just write myself a little note over here at the bottom. Let me just make some spaces. Let's see, octopus people. Or races. Yeah, since I did previously on let's see, when was that? I think that was 2 streams before. Since the last one I was just playing well, wait, actually, yeah, I didn't even do D&D on the last stream that I did. I was playing a short hike. But on the stream before that, I was working once. No, that was no. That was a fuck ton ago then. Let's see, the last one was a short hike. Before that, I was working. Well, not exactly working. I was much more researching. Why does that sound weird? Researching. I don't know. The ing just sounds weird, but sir. I was researching information about the 9 house, since I do have the intention of having a sort of, I was gonna say dimension, but not exactly a plane, consisting of a hell within my world, but I did not know exactly if I wanted to make it the same way as having the 9 house. Since I did not have much information on them, I was just researching on stream, adding some notes that I thought were important about of the house and this and that. So let's see, that was the one before that, and then. Sorry, I'm just a little bit tired. Oh yeah, I remember now. The first and second stream, those were the ones that were about the race as a whole. I was basically just looking at some D&D Beyond information, some other web pages for the stats and a little bit of lore when it came to the basic races on D&D. And I did add a couple other ones that I thought would be interesting. Those including the changelings, since I fucking adore changelings for a bunch of roleplay reasons. You can do a lot with those. I also did end up adding a couple of quote-unquote fish people. That's not being racist to the fish people. I just do not know all of the races for them. I do know that there is the merfolk, the mermaids, the tritons, also the octopus people that I'm going to add to that list later on. But yeah, that is basically what I did. When I did that, that was the first 2 streams. And actually, you can't even look at them now, huh? I have to make a YouTube channel for reference if anybody just wants to. I don't know why they would do that, but if they have any how should I say this? Any want to look back on those streams, I might just make a YouTube channel or some shit like that where they can look back on them. They're gonna be quite long. I might just edit that. Should I edit them then? So they are a little bit long. Might be a good idea to edit them and just add the parts that are important. Let's see, it's the Logatha and the Simic hybrids. Actually, I don't even know what those are, so I'm gonna have to look them up then. Let's see, I actually forgot to read this. She looks up to Shaman since her mother Victoria got emperor and is perpetually dead and alive, not moving in a comatose-like state. I was like a mother figure after scolding her and feeding her. Huh. So basically, the adopted daughter in that case. So I don't know, is it a good idea to just throw the stream as a whole onto YouTube, or should I edit it down? Since I don't know, they're not the, how should I say, the most entertaining pieces of content. It's just basically me going back and forth within a Word document, talking to some people in chat, adding some things to the Word document, and looking at some other pages with information on D&D. I do not know exactly if I should add it as a whole, or if I should just maybe edit it out. Edit it down? Yeah, it might be a good idea. But then what exactly should I edit down, since it's basically just, I don't know. It's basically just the same as this kind of stream. The only difference is that at that time, I did not have the chat there. I added it recently. We're evolving this little by little. We're making it better. Is there anything I added that? Let me think. The first stream. No, I did have the fucking PNG, the PNG tour shit of my D&D character right at the bottom. I did have that at the start. Oh yeah, I think the chat's the only thing that is new. Did I have the BGM for the first stream? Yeah, no, I did. So let's see. How exactly should I edit those down? Well, I guess I can just add important information or something that I find funny. And every now and again, if I do end up talking about my world as a whole and not just D&D, well, basic 5e information, I might add that as well. In that case, I have to watch. They're not that long either, so it's just, I think the longest one was 2 hours at most, maybe 2.5. So yeah, I might just edit them in. Actually get kind of sleepy. So yeah, sure. I'll look into them. I'll edit them down, and yeah, sure. I'll upload them. In that case, might as well just add some social media to. I might just make a Twitter account. People still use Twitter, right? After all of the Elon Musk fiasco and all that shit, I might just make a Twitter account, or maybe Instagram's not really my thing. I'm not really a picture kind of guy. But I might make a Twitter just for maybe send some links, some information every now and again if I ever plan on doing something, if I actually plan on streaming again. I do have the intention of streaming again, but I just know how I will feel when I wake up tomorrow if I even get to sleep. Since I've been having a really shitty time with that. For some reason I got into a habit, let's say I would fall asleep randomly. I would sleep for half an hour. I would wake up, I would just do some random bullshit. I would sleep once again for half an hour. I would go to sleep again. I would wake up, I would do some random bullshit. I would go to sleep once again. Then I would sleep for a grand total of 2 hours after that, so 3 hours in total. Then I would wake up and I would be unable to sleep. That is how I've been living for the past week, which is why I think that might be the reason why my head hurts and I'm feeling like shit. But I don't have any way to fix that as of now, so I'll live with that for the foreseeable future, I think. Let's see here with no names. This god no longer has a name and nearly no followers. This god was cast out by a coalition of many other gods, good and evil alike. This god once was known as a corrupted, the god killer. Their symbol is a withered tree. This god grants no domain and is dormant, awaiting for the day when their following resurges. Ooh, you know what? Oof. I like that as just what it is. I really like that, but it fits really well into the part of the creation mythos. So that is something that I can use quite well. So once again, awesome. You know how I do it, and I've got permission before, so I'll just do a little bit of a copy and paste. Of course, just to clarify things, I'm not going to take the words as whole. I do plan on changing it, adapting it to my world, and all that. So I'm not just gonna. Basically, I don't have any intention of just stealing it outright. I do want to adapt it to. Fuck! I forgot to copy it I copied it the wrong way. I don't know why it turns out black when I copy it directly, but sure. Okay, I'll leave it at this. I do like the idea separately. So here with no name, this is probably not where I'm going to adapt this here. I'm probably going to use that somewhere else. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I'm going to separate this into two parts, because there is a part of this that goes really well with the creation mythos of the world. And also the idea of having a god who was cast out by the others is a concept that blends really well to antagonist, which is something that I might use later on. That's really good. He with no name. The corrupted. Yeah, that's good. That's some good shit right there. So let's see. I actually do know exactly where I can use this, but I am not going to talk about that, because that is for later on. That is for people to piece on their own. How much do I like a mystery when I know the answers to it? Actually, I do like riddles as well, so yeah, not really. Okay, actually, I just thought to myself, a god of riddles. Nah, that's too redundant. But I do want a god of something like that. Not exactly a god of riddles, but something along those lines. That might be cool. Let's see, what else can I add? Okay, I'm just gonna write god of and see if anything comes to mind. Let's see, what else can there be? let's see. I imagine this god as a mortal who obtained godhood, having been scorned by the gods, or ignored by the gods, or maybe triggered by another god. Somehow this god decided that the gods serves no purpose, that all gods must die. That's a good way to have an antagonist. See, actually, I didn't think about that. Oh, I did have it in the back of my mind, but having one of the gods be transcendent from mortal to godhood, that's something that I do want to work with. But the thing about that is, for that to happen, I need to have lore. And for that to happen, I need to develop exactly a continuity after what happens in the creation story, which I do have an idea of, but that will take quite a while. But yeah, all that I can use, I do have a way to dissect this and apply it to the parts of my world that I know where they would fit perfectly. Let's see. What else could I add? Also, just for a little bit of clarification, when it comes to things such as the house and such, I do not plan on having exactly a god. Let's say a reindeer. In that case, there from base D&D, I think it's Asmodeus, the one who reigns over the house. But in that case, I do not plan on having a world. Well, I mean a world. I was reading chat with one of my eyes. I was looking at the screen, looking at the other one of my eyes. I just got into it. Okay, oh yeah, for the house, I do not want them to have a god. I think that's just the best way to put it. Since they should be, there are gods. Well, not sorry, gods. There are demons. Well, devils. Sorry. There's a difference between the devils and the demons. There are devils that... There's a fucking mosquito. I bet ran off. I was about to kill it. I lost track again. Where was I? Oh yeah. There are, of course, the Dukes of Hell, the Archdukes of Hell, and of course the sorry, what was I? Oh yeah, and pretty much the overlord of the house, which is Asmodeus. Let's see, forgotten from story of school, there were no limit on spells in the early days of the universe. It was until a single mage obtained much knowledge and obtained level 10 magic and attempted to cast a spell to steal the godhood of the god of magic of his kids. Oh yeah, I do remember that part of the lore. Yeah, I really like that part of the lore. I'm not really well versed in the lore of the Forgotten Realms, but I do know a couple of things, and I did know that there was not a cap to the magic, and there are even level 11 spells, something like that. But yeah, actually, something about my world is that okay, one thing is that I have every intention of building this with all of my, let's say, with all of me, with all of I'm literally giving my world, I'm giving my child to people, but I do not have any intention of limiting the players if they want to fuck it up. If somebody ends up destroying my world, then fuck it, go ahead. That is the kind of freedom that I do want to give towards my players, and of course I'm not going to tell them that. If you tell someone not to burn a fucking tree, they will burn it, because you just told them not to. But I do have the intention of letting them, pretty much I'm giving them a blank canvas, and which is why I take a lot of time looking into every individual god, every part of the creation mythos, and later on when I start working on the map and all that, I do plan on giving them an expansive world where they are pretty much free to do whatever they want. Of course, they are going to have a set course of actions, quote unquote, since they're going to be adventurers or such, but I am not against people fucking up the world. If you end up finding a deck of many things randomly somewhere else, which I do plan on having within my world, then good on you. But there are certain things that I, of course, am planning to change. But either way, I do have every intention of letting people break down the very fabric of my world if they so choose to, and if they find a way to do it. For of course, I'm not gonna let them do it that easily, but if they want to, they can. I'm not opposed to the idea. If I have to delete the world and create one anew, then sure, I'll go with that. Nothing wrong with it. Okay, let's see. There are two ways that the mythology was formed, mythology-wise and archaeology-wise, actually. But one other thing about the way that I was planning on running my campaign is that I have a certain, how should I say this? Plan is the best way to put it, but I have an idea of the way that I want people to interact with the world. I do plan on running some campaigns that are not just your typical you made in a tavern adventures. I do plan on running campaigns where, let's say, the beginning of the world, something like that. Let's say, I don't know, you are some of the first life forms that formed within the world, and I plan on giving them the freedom to do whatever the fuck they want. Maybe once somebody decides to study the arcane, and he grows to be a strong magician, and out of that, later on within the lore of the world, there is an institute of magic that was, well, made by that player who would now be an NPC. But either way, I do have the intention of letting people build my world. Let's say I am putting forward a blueprint. I am giving them the tools. And of course, I, as a DM, will do everything within my power to let them live that fantasy. But as of now, it is a project that is at the very beginnings of its making, so that'll take a while. Let's see. Okay, let's see. How is my world started? I have no world, but I like the idea of the world. Started with a machine which stumbled upon an uninhabited planet, and it began the slow process of changing the world around it. After many eons and eras, evolution took its course and the world formed, but this machine remains dormant somewhere in the world. But the dormant ancestors still asleep and in eons long slumber in stasis. Ooh, that's a good way to start a world. Actually, fuck. You know, this is the kind of thing. I'm really proud of my creation story, even though, as I said previously, it is fucking corny and it is fucking, I don't know. In my case, how I think of it is the fucking best thing that I've ever written. It is my fucking magnum opus, this or whatever, and I can say that. But if somebody were to read it, it'll probably not be that amazing. But it is the kind of thing that I would love to share. But at the same time, I did bring it upon myself to not do that. For how should I say this? It is the kind of thing that I do not think should be said out loud. It is the kind of thing that I want people, if I ever do end up running the campaigns here on this channel or whatever, I do have the intention of letting people know the story within the world. I want, and even like maybe just me right now, maybe every now and again I have thrown some references, some hints into the creation of the world, not as whole, but I have just been giving throwing a couple of bones out if anybody was looking at that. And I do plan on doing that because I just like, I don't know, it is, in my case, it is something that is I find to be engaging, looking into small little details and see, well, and try to find the bigger picture. But that might be just me and you people, and for some, and you are just thinking, and some of you are just thinking like, what the fuck, just give us a story right now. You're just doing that for shits and giggles, and yeah, part of me is, but I do want to do that, and I did decide for myself to do that, so I'm not going to share it, even though I absolutely would love to share it. Let's see, that is an hour and 44 minutes. I can still go for a little bit. I just have to think of whatever other god I should put, since I've kind of run out of ideas. I might just be hungry. Maybe that's why I don't have any more ideas. But it's kind of late to go and get something to eat, so I'll think about it. Maybe after the stream ends. Let's see. So let's see. Is there any other god within here that I might be able to add something to them? Maybe not look into more gods, but maybe write a little bit more about these. Okay, so first for the god of perfection, I do not have to write domains. Fuck it, I'll just add love because I can. But yeah, it's not exactly the route I'm going towards. Let's see. Familial. Romantic. Sexual. Sexual? Affection. In my mythos, the god of life, Natsesu, was so powerful he willed himself into existence. Then pretty much did Christianity, but he for some reason split into 5 primordials, then split into all I got. So imagine being so fucking strong that you're like, yeah, I exist. Deal with it. That's amazing. I really like that. Actually, you know what? I didn't exactly think about. Splitting up one of the primordial beings to make. Let's see. Is there any way that I could do that? Actually, yeah, there is one. There's one way that I could do that, and it does tie into he with no name. Oof! I just got an amazing idea. But that's a fucking huge ass spoiler for the creation method, so. Let's see, let me start. I did read the materials. Okay, but what actually happened was during the Nectar Wars, the mythologies got all mixed together. Yeah, that happens. And if it was a large scale war, much more of a reason for that. Let's see how is world formed. In the beginning there was darkness, and endless darkness, and for a reason and for a time it was content. It is unknown why, when, or how, but born from this darkness came light. With light came hope in the beginning of life. Light gave birth to the original gods. These gods wanted to play, so one god made earth, and threw it at the feet of its sibling god. This god created water to wash off the dirt. And one after another, each god added more and more until their formed. That's amazing. I really like that. That's really cool. The planet being formed out of childish games, huh? Imagine being so powerful that out of your childish game with your siblings you create a whole world. I like that. Let's see, because my world is to distant future where the nukes went off. Oh. So I said, let's see, what's the exact term for the, there was a term for that kind of setting, but I do not remember it. For the most part, was like post-nuclear wars. I do not remember exactly what that is, but there was a term for it. I just don't remember. What is Roges now? Autumn? Is that from? Where exactly is that from? Or did you just write it up? I like it. The song was created because the god got a migraine. Then I just wrote something. You know what? Let's see if I get it from somewhere. I have no idea where. Okay. So just because you wrote that, I will say a little something. Some of that is involved in the way I wrote my world. I'll give you that. Some of this part, something, I'm not going to specify what, but some of that was part of the way I wrote my world. I'll just say that, since I don't want to just throw it out. Let's see. Well, a god of knowledge might not be a... Well, no, actually, no. I cannot do that, since I already have something that takes care of the knowledge of the world. So, nope, not that. Let's see, what else is there? Something. Yeah, I've decided I'm not gonna have a god of magic. I'm just gonna let magic run wild. Of course, there are things that are going to be balancing magic as a whole, but it is not gonna be. Oh wait, I just Sexual. There we go. Let's see, what else can I add right now? I also have to add the quote-unquote twist for this one. I do have an idea of what it is, but I do not know how to put it into words as of now. Let's see, he with no name killed the god of magic, which is why that god is known as the god killer. Huh. Having a god killer sealed away. Sorry about that. That was longer than I expected. Oof. I should run out of breath on that. Let's see. What do you mean Kobold's invading the stream? Was that a reference to something? If it is, I do not know what it is. See, actually, yeah, I have to think about it. Kobold speaking natives. Actually, I didn't know that detail about them. The only thing I do know about the lore of the kobolds is that, okay, from what I can remember, who was that? I think, oh, yeah, they come from a part of a dragon well, a dragon could have part of itself, and from that, the first kobolds were born, and they dedicated all of their literal beings to making that dragon rich as fuck. And from that, the deity of the kobolds was the first one to come out. He was the one who appeased the dragon, who they came from, something like that. Let's see. Oh yeah, God of Knowledge. Oh, the titles: He who knows all and the wise. A shape. What exactly do you mean by a shape? Question mark for the symbol. Let's see. Anything ever sounded like what I imagine kobolds speak. That's kind of funny if kobolds do speak like that. It's basically an all-knowing, all-seeing owlbear. Oh yeah, owlbears had a thing. Yeah, I forgot about that. Actually, I do need to find a way to, since for, let's say, quote-unquote customization options, I did create in my world the umbrella term animal folk for all of the races that do happen to be descendants from, I don't know what, but I just wanted to get people the ability to make animal-eared people, because a lot of people actually asked for it. So yeah, I do have furries in my world, but you can make them just anime girls with cat ears as well, if that's more to your taste. A little bit of everything for everybody. A shape that's indescribable and constantly changes. I think I've heard of it. I think there was a real phenomenon for that, but I do not remember what it was. Let's see. Anything else that I might be able to add right now? If not, I think it might be a good idea to start ending it off, since, yeah, it might not be the best idea to keep on looking at a screen if my head starts hurting. And I might as well continue this tomorrow with a fresh mindset. It might be a good idea. I might work on this a little bit in the afternoon, and then I'll try to fucking fall asleep to not be this sleep deprived and death. Yeah, it might be a good idea. In that case, I think I might just cut the stream here so I can rest a little bit, since my head started a little bit more. So I think that's where I'll leave it for tonight. To everybody who came by, thank you very much. Jeannie and Autumn, thank you very much for accompanying for basically since when I noticed that I wasn't even speaking. Let's see, I like to think of the gods of knowledge as the watchers, the record keeper, the librarian, a greedy god that seeks to know all things, a neutral god that cares not for mortal beings, and has their followers to document and record. Great libraries are devoted to their god. This god could be a very secretive god and hoards secrets and knowledge, or it could be like a god that was actually, you know what? Thinking back on it, having a god of knowledge might not be a bad idea. The thing about my world, I actually can't talk about it, since this is basically something that is not going to be ever. How should I say this? It's one of the few exceptions to the things that I prepared in my world, where there's no way to interact with this. I do have an entity known as the I don't remember the exact name, but something akin to the librarian. Yeah, so I think it literally was a librarian, or no, I think it was a record keeper, something like that. I think it was one of the titles that you chose. Actually, that was pretty on the nose about it. But he's a cosmic entity who records every quote unquote every living information that exists within the world. So basically everything from the very beginning of the universe to the present day. And I do have a cosmic entity that takes care of that, but maybe having a god that might help him in one way or another might not be the worst idea, since I do not have the intention of having that entity be too how should I say this? To be too involved within the world, since he basically is just a record keeper. But yeah, it might be a good idea to have a god that serves under him, like maybe having that god be the only one who has access to the information of the record keeper. And sure, I'll add that. I have to think on this one a little bit, but I do like the idea. Knowledge. Did I write that right? Is that how you write it? Yeah, it is. Okay. So yeah. So yeah. I'll leave it with this for now. I will try to add a couple of other things for tomorrow. I will see if I do have any ideas from our gods, and I might just add a little note on them, and then I'll maybe work on them on stream so people can see that and maybe give any tad bits of information, any suggestions that they might have, and this or whatever. So it's almost been 2 hours. So yeah, good on me for lasting 2 hours. I was not that used to speaking for long periods of time, and I basically spoke to nothing for half an hour of those 2 hours. But hey, nothing you can do about that. Mistakes happen. At least I noticed. Thank you, Autumn, for telling me that. I kind of had to notice by myself, but either way, thank you for actually telling me. Now, imagine if this had gone on for 2 hours. That would have been fucking insane. Also, I got a lot of good information from you all, so got a lot of really good things that I actually do have the intention of adding into my world. So yeah, I think this is a good place to leave it. So thank you, Autumn, Genie, for talking with me for basically the duration of the whole stream. And to everybody who did not chat but was still watching, thank you very much. I will probably be back tomorrow. I don't think I have anything to do tomorrow. So yeah, I will probably be back tomorrow. I will maybe see if I can get a social media account, maybe so that I can find a way to inform all of you. And I'll probably add those links into my Twitch. I will also see if I can get some progress within editing down the videos so I can add them to YouTube. If anybody has any questions for my world, they might be able to see, they might get answers to them on those videos. Or if you have any questions about them, you could basically just ask me right now. I don't have any problem with answering those. I don't have problems answering those. It's just that there are certain things within the information that I do not want to reveal just yet. So if it's something really specific that comes within the bounds of the creation mythos of the world, I will not answer that. But any curiosity or any other thing that you might have about my world or just me as a whole, go ahead and ask. I don't mind if any of y'all do. If not today, tomorrow, or whenever else. But I might be doing this since I just hope I get better and I'm able to stream tomorrow. It's actually had a lot of fun. So that'll be it for the night. I still don't have a way. I know they have a way to start my streams, like a catchphrase or some shit like that. Neither do I have a way to end it. But wait, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming by, and I hope you have a good night, day / afternoon. I don't know time zones right now, so hope you have a good day. See y'all.